Howdy folks, TJ here. You know, I'm having a lot of fun learning about and tinkering with and using Morph OS. In this case, I'm running version 3.19 on an AmigaOne X5000, dual booting. So not only can I dual boot into Morph OS, I can also boot into my Amiga OS. And at a future time, if I want to get crazy, I could load Linux on here as well. But today, we're just going to keep my AmigaOne X5000 in the world of Amiga. So Morph OS and Amiga OS. In the last number of weeks since I've now have sound fixed on my AmigaOne, thanks to Frank for sending me an updated driver, I finally have dived in and I'm really starting to use it. I'm tinkering, I'm adding things, and I'm just having generally a lot of fun. I think learning new operating systems and seeing how they tick is kind of a fun thing anyway, but I'm really seeing how polished Morph OS can be. Like anything though, it's not perfect. There's going to be things that you run into, hiccups, things that just a commoner like me may not know, but if you've been around the block for Morph OS for a while, you'll go, oh, that's why that doesn't work, you need to do this. Over time, maybe I'll get to that point, but today, I'm just skimming the world of Morph OS, and I'm having a good time. What did I do in the last couple of days? Well, over the weekend, I started downloading some games. And we'll do a whole video, I think, on Scum VM, which is a whole gaming thing. I've never used it on any platform. So I'm starting to grab games. I'm starting to grab some the program itself. And we'll dive into that later because I wanted to start more honing in my Morph OS experience. So when I turn it on, it is ready for me to go. I don't have to poke and peck and find things. I'm starting to get my docks set up, and I've added some things to my dock. And I wanted to cover a couple of things this morning to say that I'm starting to get organized. Maybe that word will tickle your fancy. Organized in the world of Morph OS. So number one, if I'm going to do anything of importance on my Morph OS system, I need to do email. And there's an email program that came stock with Morph OS. There's also a newer version, which I've downloaded, and I'm putting in my own internet folder. I like to have just like Amiga OS. It makes sense. You kind of have a utilities, tools. I like to have an internet directory or folder where I can put stuff. So anyway, from default, let me go ahead and focus in on the screen a little bit more, and I'm going to turn off this lighting back here, and I'm also going to crack the door open, because normally when I start doing a video, I start talking louder, if that's possible, and my cats get a little nervous. And I'm not going to show super close up of the screen. I don't do any of those HDMI breakouts or anything. It's you looking over my shoulder here having a good time. We'll focus in on the screen, and you'll probably see that a bit better now. On the Morph OS directory or hard drive, MOS, there is a folder called, what's it called? Is this one in Tools? No, Iris is not in Tools, so it must be in Utilities. Iris is not in Applications. Iris, there we go. It was in Applications folder. So in the Applications folder, there's one called Iris. Now, this is an older version. I double-clicked on it, saw what it was, but I'm just going to leave it alone. I've got plenty of hard drive space. It's nice to have a fallback if I need to have a fallback. But I went ahead and made a new directory. Let's see if I'm telling the truth. Internet. And then I've got one called email. And in here, now I should snapshot. If you're not familiar with Amiga OS or Morph OS, when you default and open up a directory, it doesn't show you anything until you tell it that you want to view all files and you need to snapshot the window. Now, I'm not sure if I've ever fallen in love with that feature. If I open a folder, I want to see stuff. That's why I'm going there. But maybe there's a purpose behind it. You tell me. But see how there's nothing in here now? I've got to go up to View, and I could go by icon or list. I'm going to stick with icon, but you're going to tell it all files. Now, if I want to see all files again for it to come up, I need to go up here and snapshot. And I normally snapshot the window, but you could do all as well. But in this case, I'm going to snapshot the window. So next time I open it, it's going to be there. So I've got to remember to do that. Now, again, I'm not quite sure why Amiga OS thought of that we need to snapshot windows. Normally, when I double-click on something or open something, I want to see it. I'm going in there to see something. So I'm not quite sure I've fallen in love with that, but it is what it is. And anyway, so Iris is in the, so let me make sure, am I in the right place? Yeah. So email, and then Iris, and then I went ahead over on my dock, put a shortcut. I like to have my desktop arranged as follows. The normal hard drive icons or network icons on the left. Over on the right side, I like to have a dock that is internet stuff. So right now I've got an IRC app, I've got Wayfarer, I've got Iris, and also a little wormhole program that lets you wormhole between Amiga and Windows, Amiga and Mac, and so on. And it's a nifty little program to have. Down at the bottom, I'm now creating my work stuff. I typically consider this kind of work stuff or multimedia stuff, applications, not internet. So internet upper right, down bottom, more of a organization, office type of thing. And then sometimes I may even have one over here that's multimedia. So I may put one over here at a later time and make my new panel. They call them panels in Morph OS. Anyway, down here you'll see I've got this little, it looks like a little book. And this is a program called PolyOrga, which will play together. All I've done is launched it and put a shortcut on it. I wasn't able to get it running this morning. I went over on Discord and said, hey, I was getting an application init file failure. I don't know why it was there. I read the README. In fact, one of the people that helped me said, I think that's in the README. Well, I read the README twice and there was nothing in there. So I asked in there and he said, oh, it needs this particular MCC file, endlist thing. So I went and grabbed it and then the program worked. So you wouldn't expect any newbie or even a commoner to know that unless you really know Morph OS. So it wasn't in the README, so that I don't know if it would be considered just you got to know that kind of thing or a bug or what. But I would say having in the README that you need this file to launch it would be a good thing. I didn't see it in there, and I reread it multiple times. So anyway, so there it is. So Iris, you can see Iris has lots of things that go along with it. But I don't need to be in there. I don't need to dive in there. I put a shortcut. So let's go ahead and launch Iris. So Iris, like Wayfarer, launches up and brings up that little window. And there is an email program. This is the email program. And I went ahead and set it up with my Google. So what's really nice about this program, it allowed me to easily connect to my Google Mail. For work, I do Google Mail. I also have personal files for Google stuff, Gmail. So all I had to do is plug in my Google email and password, and then Google is one of those that sends you out, hey, are you really this person? I'm sending you a note. You need to type in this number to confirm you're you. And I confirmed I'm me, and then the program started working. And I now have an email program, which basically hits all the normal bells. I'm very easy when it comes to things. For my phone, I wanted to make calls. I wanted to receive calls. Sure, I will play with the occasional gamer application, but I'm not a whore that has to have everything on there. I want it to do certain things. Make calls, receive calls. So with my email, I'm much like that as well. Can it send an email? Can it receive an email? Send and receive. That's the important thing. But then if it does other things above and beyond that, great. There's some people that do all sorts of stuff with it. I don't. But it's nice that it has a trash folder, and you'll see that I've been chucking stuff, a spam folder, sent mails, and drafts, important stuff that you can mark, you can highlight and tell it's important. I've only done a few emails, nothing's important yet. All email, and then my main inbox. So you can send and receive emails. So I went ahead and created a new Morph OS Society email for me because I am Mr. Society. If you don't know me since the 1990s, I've done something society all the time. So I'm Atari Society, Amiga Society. I'm now Morph OS Society. I'm Next Society. actually. I'm all sorts of societies. Mac Society. So anyway, I don't think I have the Next Society anymore. I finally got rid of that one. I don't know why, but I did, and I never got it back. Somebody else grabbed it, and that's fine. I've got enough Society to last me forever. But this is an email application. It's called Iris. So if you, and it's something I got to learn. Buttons are in different places than I'm used to on other computers, but I will get used to it over time. And it tells you this is to open mail. This is to reply to an email. This is to reply all. This is the forwards. And you can even print. Now, I haven't tried to print anything yet, and I'm not aware of that this can air print like my Amiga computer over to my wireless printer. I don't think so. But maybe in time I'll learn that. There's a trash can so I can delete emails. So this is a nice emailing program. Over here, you can synchronize mail. You can even do a new email. So if I click new email, it's going to bring up this. So I could send, type in to, put in a subject. I don't need to do that. I think most commoners know how to, even senior citizens that are 90 probably know how to send an email. But anyway, you click on it, and then over here, there's a send button. You click send and you send the email. So Iris seems to be the go-to program for you to do emailing. What's interesting is this is one Herkin-ass window. I don't need to have it quite that big, but it is what it is. I can shrink it down. I can tailor Iris to me. So I went ahead and put a shortcut to Iris. It looks like an eye, an iris of an eye, kind of, with an @ symbol in it. And that belongs up on my right-hand dock. So cool, I can send emails now. I'm going to discard the message because I didn't do one, and I'm going to go ahead and close. It quits the program, so I now have email and an official MorphOS Society email account that I can send and receive emails to my MorphOS and Amiga friends. So it takes a little bit to crunch down and stop sometimes. I'm not quite sure what these programs are doing at the time of launching. I'm guessing at launching it's doing some initialization of fonts or something. I don't know. It's doing something. It doesn't immediately come up, but it does that. And then at the end of the program, it thinks it does whatever it's doing, and then it goes away. So that was number one, email. I'm excited to have email now. Did I start this recording? Yes, I did. I'm 12 minutes in. Beautiful. Okay. So next thing is RNO has a plethora of app. I don't know if you call it Rhino. RNO. There's a widgets program called RNOWidgets. And these widgets are some things that you may be seeing on my desktop right now. Some of those widgets, and I'll move them over so you can kind of see them in the middle of the screen. There's a sticky, and the sticky you can see says this is a test. Maybe I'm a little too far away from the camera right now, but it's a sticky. So you basically just click in here and type something, and that sticky, I like stickies. I'm a very organized but disorganized person. I'm not one to do a lot of calendar things, but I like to have stickies at my desk, and having a sticky on the desktop is a wonderful thing. So right now, I can stick a sticky over here, like, where did I end off on my adventure of Morph OS? Well, maybe I put a note here to, remember, TJ, you need to download this to make this work, and I could put a note there to myself. I like having the stickies over here on the right. So that is a little Post-it type of note. I call it a sticky. Then up on the upper right, there are these. And on any of these widgets, it appears if you just put the cursor over the top of the item, it turns into a four-way thing. And you've got digital and analog clocks. I like analog clock. Why do I want an analog clock and a big thing up on my screen? Because I can't read that freaking son of a bitch while number. I'm old. I'm blind. And imagine if I was 4K screen. Oh my God, I couldn't see anything. I'm a 1080 screen on a 43-inch TV, and I'm still having a problem seeing that. This right eye, I can't see anything. Is that a phone recording me? I have no idea. It's a blind bat. So I like to have a big old-fashioned clock that says what time it is. Most people can, read a clock. So I've got that on there, and it's almost 10:20 right now, and it's got a second timer on there. And I could put that back up over here. I like to have that up on my top right of the screen. My eyes gravitate up to where there are 4 other stuff that's up on the top. I don't know in Morph OS, I call this a status bar, but it's a bar of some kind. Everybody's going to have their own names for something. Panels, docks, dockies, widget, there's all sorts of names. But anyway, I call this the main upper status bar. And up there is where it shows the time. And I like to have my time up here. So that's a visual. This RNOWidgets, RNOWidgets 1.6 has a whole bunch of these type of things. For some, they don't like them. For others, like me, I love it because I couldn't see that small clock. I now got a nice clock up there and to tinker with. Weather. I'm a weather dude. I live up in the sticks where we can get snow. Not all the time, but we can get icy, snow, spring, real hot, 105 degrees out. We get all the temperatures. I just love the weather. So having a little weather app up here that I keep up here next to the clock is kind of cool. Now, I'm not quite sure if I want to place it here yet. I'm still working those logistics out. But it's telling me it's 13 degrees Celsius, which I don't care about Celsius. I'm in the US. I'm an inch foot guy. I'm not a meter or metric guy. But anyway, it tells me that. And it's kind of good to know because sometimes if one of my Euro friends, friends outside the US, want to know what the temperature is, hey, I can see that I'm going to still say it's 56 Fahrenheit, but that means it's probably 13 Celsius to you. I'll know. It's telling me the direction of the wind. And it's telling me my city. Now, in this application, I'll show you a little bit later, in the settings, it didn't come out and strictly say what state you're in because there's multiple same cities in multiple states. So hopefully it's grabbing mine. I think it is. I put /California on there. Now, I don't know if it's smart enough to really say that because it looks like it's the same one. I just put the word Grass Valley and it brought up this. If I typed in Grass Valley, California, it brought up the same. So I don't know if it's really grabbing the right one. It feels about 56. Now, it feels a little colder outside, but anyway, we'll soon find out if it really is telling me my local weather. So it has a weather one up there. And then it's got this little calendar. Now, these numbers are pretty small, but it is visible by me. Down on the bottom right, I like to keep my calendar. And it says what today's date is. Well, it says it's January, and I can see that this one is highlighted. January the 13th. I haven't figured out any way to make these any bigger because, well, that's how you do it. Oh, wow, look at that. I did that earlier, but I must have not had the cursor. I got something on my face. It's itching me. Probably a spider web. Shelops is in my room. Anyway, so I just did it. So now I can see it even better. So I can see it's that. It highlights Sundays. Is that because it's the Sabbath? You should be in church? Or is that a common thing? And Saturdays, it's kind of a light blue color. All the other days are kind of gray. And then it tells you the week as well. So that's nice. So I'm going to put that down. I can now see that a little bit better. And I'm going to move my... can I do the same thing to the Post-it notes? Apparently, yes. I put the cursor down there earlier. I wanted to make them bigger and it wouldn't work. Now it's working. I have no reason why it's changed. But anyway, now I've got a big old Post-it note on there. Cool. So other things that are in here. So if I click on any of these, you'll see that RNOWidgets, there's a settings, compositing, edit alarm, snapshot windows. So you need to apparently snapshot where you're putting your windows as well so it remembers them. You've got a view. You could do an analog clock. Let me just show you these. There is a digital clock. And so if you need the digital one, that's over there as well. You can put that up there. Do I want to keep that? No. I'm old school. I don't need that one up there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out, but I wanted to show you what it looked like. So there is a digital clock up there. Let's see. There's feeds. I haven't set up feeds yet, but I'm guessing this is some kind of... Oh, it automatically brings... Let's go ahead and show you it at least. Let me enlarge it. So apparently it's got a feed already set up for Aminet. And it looks like some things. I don't know if these are clickable. Apparently they're clickable. I just clicked it. It's going to take me to some porn site. I'm screwed. My wife's going to walk in right now. I'm screwed. Anyway, it brought up iTidy. Very fun name. iTidy. What is it? It's a workbench utility for tidying icon layouts and a drawer window size. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and close that. So now again, what's it doing right now? Is it just making sure things are tidied up? I don't know what tidying up it needs, but it does this for a little bit and then it stops. It does the same thing on Amiga OS. I've just never understood it. I understood the beginning of maybe launching the program and loading in something it needs, but at the end, what's it dishing? Is it giving some type of buffer, like if you were in the middle of something, it's going to let it go? I don't know. Anyway, so this feed apparently has things. It looks like it's an old dot matrix feed kind of printer, and it's got some links to things that this Ticklish. Maybe this is a port site. I don't know. Ticklish via C code. So look at that. It's got those on here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. But where the hell do I put it? My desktop's getting a little too raunchy right now. I'll go ahead and put it down here in the bottom right. But I'm going to make this one a little smaller. I don't need it quite as herkin. And I guess if I need to click on it. No, see, I don't see everything in there now. I need to see whatever's in there. I guess it depends on what the feed is. So I'll go ahead and put it down here for now. And so that's that. So that's a feed one. And then there's there's feeds and notes. Notes is the sticky. I call it a sticky. Then there's pictures, sticker, and then weather. So we've already looked at weather. Let's go ahead and bring up pictures. So this one by default came up earlier. And it brings up a picture. I'm guessing I could point it to a directory or folder that I have. I know some people say it's a directory. It's a folder. I prefer to call it folder. So I'm going to call it folder. If you don't like that, get over it. So anyway, where you got pictures. And can this one enlarge? Yeah, apparently so. And then if you could double click on it, it's some penguins. Oh, look at those little penguins. And if you double click on it again, it goes back to small. So I didn't need, this is kind of a nifty idea. Maybe once I get a picture disk, picture folder done, I will put this back. But for now, I'm going to take it off. I don't want to see pictures. But let's see what that, oh shit. Let's go ahead and see what the sticker looks like. Okay, sticker apparently is this right here. It's a sticker. It's of, you gotta, so it's a check mark. It's a sticker. It's the Commodore check mark thing, right? Is that the Commodore? I'm an Atari guy, so boo hiss. He's an Atarian. Yeah, but I'm using. I've probably over the last number. I spent at least 10 grand buying Amiga stuff. So give me a break. I probably spent more than some people that were into it back in the day. Anyway, this is nifty. It's a sticker. I'm not quite sure if I need. It does look fun. Do I want this down here next to the trash can? Trash the. That's where I'm going to put it. I don't need it quite that herkin though. Can I change the size of it? See, so it's tricky. There's not a bottom corner to grab onto, but there is this one for making it this direction. It looks a little small, and it looks a little too small. Let's make it a little bigger. But where's the? Oh, oh no. Yeah. No, I don't want it that big. Get smaller. Smaller. Okay, let's make it. Okay, that's good. Now let's move it down. You got to be a little precise with this. Let's move it down. Let's put it there for right now, next to the trash box. I'm just having fun with you. Get used to it. That's what I do. So I've been up to all sorts of stuff. So I've got my new dock made. Oh, let's quickly show you. Yeah, this is a long video. That's what you get from me. I'm not Mr. 60-second, what do you call them, shorts? I can't stand shorts. I'm fine with shorts once in a while, but when places like YouTube make it, I want all these shorts, it's a waste of my time. I want to view something that's something that I want to view. Anyway, PolyOrga. I've got it down here. It's a single click away. And did you hear that? I said, Bonjour, let's do it again. I was flapping my lips as normal. Let's go ahead and quit out of this and launch it. Bonjour! That's funny. So apparently when you launch this, it brings up the alarm Polyorganizer, PolyOrga for short, display. We're not going to cover this in much detail. I think I'll make a separate video. But this program is a big-ass calendar /diary/directory/tasks. My buddy Matt, I don't even know your last name, I forgot it. We've corresponded via email. In fact, he's been very nice and gifted me some stuff over the last year. But he loves this program, and he said, you got to get this program. And if I find that I use this program, I'm going to donate, give a donation to the gentleman, I'm guessing it's a person, that makes this. I'm not a big calendar guy. I'm like my YouTube channel, I run amok. I do everything off the top of my tongue. That's what I am. But I could see me maybe using this, and I want to give it a good shot and see if it's something that can help me with my world of Amiga, world of Morph OS. Anyway, so it's got a big calendar, so you can see it by day, apparently, by month. What's this, 7 days? It gives you 7 days. What are these? I don't know anything yet, but it's a big ass. So here's the new event creation. So I click that and it says I want to make a new event. See how I clicked that and it said, okay, you're going to make a new event in your calendar. There's a phone directory, a new contact. So I could see me using this. I do use phone directories. It's got this, which is a new task creation. It's got a magnifying glass if I want to do a search. Time jump. These time jumps, not quite sure what they are yet, but let's go up and look in calendar. So calendar gives me a good January, February, March, April, May, June, and if I stretched out more, it'd probably show you more. It shows me all the months. That's cool. I could use a calendar. You'll see the tabs right here. There's a tab, and it moved over here. There's diary. So I've got a diary type of approach, and I'm guessing diary is kind of, what did I do today? When I think of diary, I think of an old-timey, I got to second base with my girlfriend, and I didn't keep no damn diary of that. I don't want no written stuff down. I've got it right here where it needs to stay. But anyway, there's a diary. And some of you are laughing along with me, right? And then there's a directory. So a directory, it looks like it's address list and a phone list. You could do searching on it. And then there's tasks. So if I'm going to use this for business, there may be some tasks that I want to have a to-do list. So now they're all on the left. So this is it's very graphically fun. It's kind of a mix between very professional looking, yet artsy at the same time to give me that fun feel for the program, which I like. So it might attract me to use it. So this is PolyOrga, Polyorganizer. It looks like this button is a setup. You can change it to your liking, colors, icon bar sizes, all sorts of things. So I can close it. And then there's I for information. Well, look at that, Polyorganizer. And it's made by this. This application is donationware. If you use it, please support it. So if I end up using this as a normal thing beyond me just reviewing it, I will do that because this program looks like it's fun. And it's got things that I think I'm going to make. The calendar, I like to see what a day is. Again, I'm not going to know if I'm going to do the to-do stuff. I'm not going to be using this for business. But if I was, I could see some of these features. Very cool. And then the quit out of it, I guess, if you just click this, it's still running. See how it leaves this January 13th up here? So it does let me know the day. That's kind of cool. But to officially quit out of it, I need to right-click down to quit, which is also probably the Amiga key Q, which I'm not quite sure what it is on my keyboard. It might be this Q, or this Q. There's three choices, or maybe two. Anyway, let me go ahead and snapshot this because I did put, I don't remember if I snapshotted it, but let's snapshot Windows because you need to do that in the world of Amiga. Where it starts, where it stops, you got me. Sometimes I think it automatically remembers what I did when I closed something. Other times I don't remember. But anyway, my desktop's getting busy. It's got this down here now. And if I keep using it, again, donation. I make video games, very minute video games. But it's nice when somebody gives me $1 or $2. It makes me feel good. And it makes me want to make more. So if I end up using this, you're going to see a donation from me. And any of these other things that I'm getting into, like this RNOWidgets. I'll have to look and see, is that a donationware? I'm starting to get lost on what I'm grabbing, what I'm putting on here, but I'll do, maybe I need to keep the organizer in the diary. TJ, this is what you did today. Remember, let's put a note down here. We'll end the video at this. Let's move this up over here. And let's make it big just for this. Now that I know, it doesn't make it go down though. There we go. Okay. So what am I going to put here? Donate to apps I keep using. Exclamation mark. Okay, you can see that. Can you change the text size? Probably not. I'm highlighting it. No, I don't think you could do that. Double click, highlight, yeah, no. Donate. Okay, there you go. TJ's been busy. I'll come back with another video. What's next, I don't know. But I did install Fuse, which is a ZX Spectrum program that lets you play ZX Spectrum games. My first video game that I actually made in its entirety for what it was made for the ZX Spectrum about 2019-ish or so, 2018. Maybe I'll show you playing my first video game. Thanks for watching. I'm loving playing with Morph OS. And thank you to all those that I've asked questions of and you've been kind enough to answer. Take it easy. Bye.